Hi everyone, this is Sagar Shah, and I just came back from a run, and I wanted to record this video because the game that I'm about to show you is filled with a lot of adrenaline and excitement, and I just wanted to record it right now. And so, the game that we are going to have a look at is this one between Nihal Sarin and Aram Hakobyan. This happened in the second round of the FIDE Grand Swiss. Now, the thing is, we are allowed to record only a few games in the hall, and this game being in the corner, we couldn't place a camera and couldn't record it with all the expression of the players and so on. Uh, but it was such an incredible game that I'm anyway going to do the recap of it so that you can enjoy it. Let's have a look at this board. So Nihal is black, Aram Hakobyan is white. Aram opens the game with 1 e4. He's a strong GM from Armenia. e5 by Nihal, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, the Italian, bishop c5, d3 was played, knight comes to f6, all very standard stuff played in the Italian. He didn't take on e3, he gave a check and then came back to e7, kind of losing a lot of time. So Aram is like, now I'm going to punish you, Nihal. Castles, h3, d6, and he castles here, h6 played, knight comes to d2, knight h5, trying to get to the f4 square, queen comes to d1, maybe threatening knight e5 business with the knight on h5 hanging. So he comes back, queen b3, and here Aram says, I don't want to draw, plays d4, and Nihal goes bishop to g5, offering a trade. Now, you could take here potentially, which is exactly what Aram does. Take. And now he plays his knight to f3. Nihal goes knight f4. Pawn takes pawn. And here, knight takes pawn is a normal, natural move. Knight takes, pawn takes. And here I would say the same thing like in the game with bishop c5 does not work because you've gotten rid of a knight here. So it would be even more powerful. But Nihal went directly pawn takes pawn, allowing bishop c5 hitting the rook, and this is where the game gets exciting. Now if you move the rook to e8, simply going to lose the f7 pawn and then the rook. So you have to give up that rook. Nihal goes queen f6. And after bishop f8, here comes a beautiful move. Nihal takes on g2. And here the point is, if you take king g2, then I have bishop h3 check. Very strong. And this is hanging. And at the very least, black has a draw. I guess at maximum also he has just a draw. He can't play more. So Aram was, of course, very ambitious here. He went knight h2 and the best move. And he's telling Nihal, look, if you take now here, king f8, I'll take on g2. You will be a rook down. So Nihal says, okay, I understand. He takes on h3 and Aram comes back with his bishop. Nihal goes knight h3, knight h4, threatening knight f3, threatening the rook. And here maybe the best move is king h1. But it's so complicated, like king h1, I go check, king here, back, bishop h3, you don't have anything. Maybe bishop e3 you have to try. And then if I give you a check, you must go to h1. While to bishop e3, there is g4 like in the game. And then you need to play f4. You should be ready to give up material here. So these are the complications in the position with even g3 coming up next. But Aram went here bishop e2. Nihal pushed forward with g4. Taking the pawn on g4 makes little to no sense because of check and followed by taking here. So that's lost. So he went rook f d1, saving his rook. Maybe the position already is complex. Queen g6 played, attacking the pawn here on e4. He went knight f1. Now queen e4 looks like the best move, so takes, threatening a mate in 1. He goes knight e3, and then comes check. Now if you play king f1, it's controlled. King h1 is met with knight d4 check, and it's already mate, or you lose the queen. So that's the reason why he took. And now pawn takes. And here's the point. There's the beautiful point. He comes back. And there's no mate, because even if you gave a check here, the king will go to h2, and there is no mate here on g2 because the knight is here. But Nihal recognizes that there is no way the knight can move, and all that he must do is get this, this, and this rook here, and it's game over. And look at how he engineers it. Rook d5, rook e8, rook d1, queen h5. Okay. And rook d8 is impossible because the knight controls that square. So he goes queen e4, f5. Queen comes back, and now you even find time to go king h7, rook d7. He comes in with a check, king h2, comes back, so that he can attack here. King goes here, rook e6, and he manages to do it. It's a beautiful game, actually, the way in which Nihal just completely does this. And now you can't take with the rook because of check and mate. You can't take with the king because of check. So that's the reason why he takes the rook. But queen takes, and now bishop f8 played. If you play queen, king takes f1, then check, and I win this. If you take with the rook here, then the d7 rook is hanging. So he played bishop f8, but now king g8, bishop g7, and bishop e2, attacking the rook, threatening this, and Aram resigned here. A beautiful, beautiful game by Nihal Sarin, who is showing some fresh chess these days. And I think a lot of credit here goes to Nihal's ability to change himself as a player, and also working with Vishnu Prasanna, his coach, is bringing in the benefits here. He's on 1.5 out of 2. And I hope you liked this game where Nihal, being a rook down, just played calmly and managed to checkmate his opponent.